So let's walk through some insights and thoughts and notes on the content in this blog post here. Now, you can go to a language model like ChatGPT and ask it for information about these things. What I'm going to do in this recording is provide some thoughts and insights and other accompanying information that will add more value and ultimately put you in a better place by watching this video. So it's going to be somewhat informal and unprompted. So feel free, as always, to speed this video up and get through it faster. There should be a gear icon somewhere around the player so you can speed this up and get more value from it. So the general premise is that online lead gen is pretty tough. Tougher now than it used to be because of lots of different things. So there's economics. It's costing more to use platforms like Google Ads and Meta Ads to reach people who have less money to spend. So there's forces that are working, a couple of forces that are working against us. Australian markets are jaded and skeptical. They don't like clicking ads. They've seen it all before, which means it's tough to, one, get their attention, and two, get them to actually take action. 3, sophisticated markets. So there are lots of great advertisers in Australia promoting great businesses, great brands. So it's hard to achieve cut-through when you are competing with people who know what they're doing and have the pockets, the deep pockets, the wallets to make it all happen. We're in a trust recession, which means that consumers naturally trust businesses less. This is a documented thing. You can Google it. So what that all means is that if you need leads who are warm and answer the phone and know who you are, then you've got to nail your strategy. And that's what we've got in this blog post here, which are tactics that support a strategy. So let's dive right in. So the first step here is differentiating your process, and this is a massive one, and we do this for most of our clients. And this is all about applying a label or a name or an identity to the process that you follow as a tool of differentiation instead of your business model as a point of difference. Differentiation is an amazing tool, and it's very effective and very useful, but not every business can wildly differentiate themselves. It's just not possible. Look at your classic professional services business like law firm or accounting firm or bookkeeper or mortgage broker. You can't go and create a crazy new point of difference and be wildly differentiated in your market. So differentiating your process, and we call this a signature system, is a great way to drive a nice little differentiated competitive wedge in your market by using your signature system and the name that we give it. So we give it a benefit-driven name, like an actual name. We create sub-methodologies around it, and we use those in ads and on landing pages and in emails so that when people read them, one, they've never heard of it before. 2, it generates curiosity because they're like, oh, that's interesting. What is that? It creates this outcome that I'm looking for. And your competitors will not have the same name. We design it so your competitors do not have the same name and methodology and so forth. Visual diagrams are great for this as well. So creating a visual representation of your signature system is another very powerful tool. Moving on, being marketing led, and this is a frame or a way to approach the way that you market your business or you operate your business is to become marketing led instead of sales led. And so marketing led means that when your prospects come and talk to your sales team, so when they start your sales process, they already know who you are. They've already engaged with your content. They've already watched videos or read blogs or emails or other types of content, maybe on social media. They already know who you are, and they already come in some way pre-indoctrinated and pre-sold to the value that you add, the product or service that you provide. That's marketing led. Sales led is your traditional sort of environment where you've got a sales team and they're guns and they're hustlers and they know all the tricks in the book to shape a sales consultation towards a sale. That's fine, but being marketing led is so much more efficient because so much more stuff can be done on autopilot without humans being involved, and also to a higher degree of quality as well. So you don't have to rely on the talent in your sales team if you are marketing led. And how to do that is having automated systems like email marketing and automated email campaign and a remarketing mechanism on Meta, for example. Blog posts so that people can do Google search. They can search for certain keywords and you come up as the answer to the question or whatever they're searching for. So creating an online environment that delivers content where your people hang out, where your total addressable market, the cohort of future clients or customers where they hang out, so they can absorb and read and learn through your marketing material will help you become marketing led. Number 3, saying something different. So this is, and I see this all the time, and this is the concept of marketing or sales groupthink, which is where, and it's a bad thing, this is where a business will say the same stuff, the general messaging that's said in their industry. So the same taglines, the same offers and the same hooks that support those offers, the same messaging angles and emotional triggers and hot buttons. When everybody says the same thing because it feels safe, and that's why it happens, because people think, hey, we've always done it this way, and that's what's said in our industry. That is a recipe for disaster because your ads will not be seen. If everyone says the same thing, your prospects, your ideal customers or clients, then they're not going to see it. They might read it, but they won't digest it. It won't be what's the phrase? They can hear it, but they're not listening. Whatever that saying is. So the message here and the point here is to say something different. Obviously, you've got to, it's got to mean the same thing, but say it differently. Say it in a different way to achieve that cut through, so that your brand, your business gets noticed. Number 4, trust and motivation. Okay, so these two things are scarce in scroll lead gen environments. So if you know that social media is or can be a good source of leads for your sales process, you've got to focus on 2 things. 1, generating more trust in the hearts and minds of your prospects, and 2, increasing motivation, getting them to actually take action. So think about it. In social media, we're less motivated to do stuff because we go there to escape the real world and watch videos and send real videos and check out for a minute, which means that we're not actively in the frame of mind of solving a problem. You're doing a task that we've got to do, which is the opposite to search lead generation. And we've got another blog post on this, which is different. In search lead gen, people come to you already in that frame of mind where they're looking for a solution to something, whereas in scroll they're not. So motivation, you've got to increase that intentionally. Things like offer accelerators will help with that, and then also building trust. So naturally, as I mentioned, we're in a trust recession right now. People naturally trust businesses less, and then naturally on social media, trust is less even more because there's a very low barrier to entry to advertise or communicate or broadcast a message on social media, which means that people naturally trust things a little bit less. So we have to be mindful of these 2 things and then use tactics and strategies to increase both, to generate more leads. Number 5, providing value through education. This is what we call your knowledge posture. Now, back in the day, before ChatGPT, blogging used to be fairly straightforward, where you would provide a blog article which is like the 10 ways to do something, or the ultimate guide to something. Those now are dead because of ChatGPT, because of AI. Anyone can go to an AI model and just research that stuff. They can just find that stuff on AI, like your customer or client. They can go there and search for that stuff. And number 2, because of AI now, anybody can ask it to write them a blog post that goes on their blog. So your competitors can also blog the same thing as well. So what we want to do here is weave in insights and unique information, opinions, stuff that people can't natively get on ChatGPT, thought models and frameworks and diagrams and case studies and stuff that people can't go on, stuff that a language model won't know about because it hasn't been thought before, or it's a particular style that you follow when you do something. Providing value through education is only going to be effective now when you consider these things. Next, using social proof and context. So this is all about, again, building trust and using your proof, the proof that you can do something, as a lead generation accelerator. So people are skeptical. People want to know that something works, particularly if you work in an environment where you're dealing with people's money or their lives. They're going to want to know that you can actually get the result. So using social proof, there's things like reviews and case studies, testimonials, in the form of written and also video content as well, will achieve this. Number 7, reducing cognitive loads. This is a good one. So when a website visitor reaches a website and it's a little bit too hard to read, or the language doesn't quite match the language that they use in real life, and they have to think about things, or maybe they have to search to find a button to inquire with you. All of these things are increasing cognitive load, which reduces the effectiveness of your lead generation. So what we want to do is make sure that your website's easy to use, easy to read, and the path to conversion, so the pathway that somebody has to take to actually fill in a form or find a number to call you, is dead simple. We've got to make things so simple. We've got to assume the sort of lowest common denominator are people who cannot handle high cognitive load. And I'm saying this respectfully. You've got to assume that people are dumb. If the smart people on your website, it's not going to matter, because they can interpret that anyway. They can work through a process that's been created for not so smart people. So assume that all of your users aren't that smart, and make things very, very simple when it comes to that critical conversion pathway. Number 8, become the mentalist. So this is all about using empathy. Using empathy to demonstrate that you understand 3 things. Number 1, your prospects' dream. So what they're trying to achieve, the desired end state that they really want. And it's not just the initial transactional thing that you do or the service that you provide. It's the actual outcome, what they want. And I've used this example many times, but let's look at a mortgage broker, for example. So yes, they'll connect somebody with a loan, but what the person really wants is not the loan, it's the home or the property that comes with it. And then the experiences that they're going to get as part of owning that home or owning that property. So people buy a home to raise a family, or to have friends around and create, have good times with their friends, invite their family and friends around for barbecues. They want to learn to cook in a kitchen. They want to start a business from their spare room. That's the real dream that a mortgage broker is creating for people. So become the mentalist to demonstrate that you know what that is. The second point is their enemy. So demonstrate that you're the mentalist. You know what your prospect's enemy, or who the prospect's enemy is. In the example, it's the bank. The bank is the enemy, because the person who wants the loan might be thinking, if I do the wrong thing, I won't get a loan. Or maybe the bank has declined their applications. They're like, the bloody bank didn't give me a loan. If you can understand as the broker that you know how to fight the enemy, that will make your lead gen so much more effective. And then thirdly, the third part is that you understand your prospects' pains. And problem-based marketing is effective, but this takes it a little bit further, because pain is what happens when we experience a problem. So talk about their pains. If you can articulate their pains better than they can, they'll assume that you have a solution. So become the mentalist to achieve that. And lastly, be consistent. This is probably one of the easiest to do. It's just being consistent when it comes to blogging and emailing and social media posting. Just be consistent. Just show up. That's all you have to do. You don't have to post twice a day and blog once a day, and you don't have to have a high frequency of what you're doing, but just be consistent in the delivery of your marketing. That'll set you so much further ahead than your competitors who simply aren't.